To whom there reads this. A few weeks later, I was contemplating visiting the Undertaker again. I said, what the fuck, I'll go. And this time, I'd bring a friend. I took my buddy from down the street. I told him what had happened, and he was amazed but so skeptical. We reached the funeral parlor just before the Undertaker closed up. I asked if it was fine if my friend attended the party. He was happy to have another person over. He said, "This evening we'll have another attendee as well." I went in, and in the middle of the room was one very large coffin with 5 chairs around it and one more on the other side. He said to have a seat, and his guests will be ready soon. But first, have yourself a puff. I offered my friend a puff, and he took to it. Both of us had a good few drags from the water vase-like object. Both of us blinked, and 3 other people showed up. It was the same dark-haired man, and this time there were 2 more people with him. One had a long red hair. The other had blonde and dark hair, and he had a smile on his face. In fact, both of them had smiles on their face. Was it just me, or they have all the same type of eyes? You know, the green with the yellow around it. I asked my friend, and he noticed the same thing. And the Undertaker told us to come and sit around the coffin table. He took a seat and asked my friend if I would rather lose fairly or cheat death. Then he dealt out 2 cards and set out 3 in front of us. Hey, I know this game. It's poker, isn't it? The Undertaker giggled and dealt out the other hand. My friend asked if we needed to raise or check first. And he said, "This game is different." He dealt out the last card. The red-headed one kept looking at me and winking. The blonde one kept talking about some office party and how much girls that were going to be there. The black-red one just readjusted his glasses and said nothing. The room swirled again, and my friend was still there. He was experiencing the same thing. The cards flipped by themselves. The blonde-haired one won the hand. The cards got sucked back into the deck. The Undertaker passed his hand over the second round, and it was in motion. Oh, this was so trippy. I didn't see any chips or money as our currency. During the game, the cards were starting to feel hot. I asked my friend if he was feeling the same thing, but every time I looked at him, his face was different people from my life. I saw my mother, I saw my father, dead teacher, my 2 ex-wives, and a number of random people. I looked over at the other 3. All 3 of them eyes glowed green. The red-headed one was licking the neck of the black-haired one. It took me a few to learn that he was a man. The Undertaker looked at the score, and it seemed all of us were tied in score. The next hand was going to determine the winner. I had to do something to win. I wanted to win. I wanted to be the champion. My cards felt like it was fire, although I was not touching them. I looked over at my friend, but his face vanished and he slumped over on his chair. The Undertaker said my friend folded a long time ago. I remember the currency, and I reached into my pockets and splayed out onto the table a few pounds and shillings. The Undertaker was insulted at the coins. He slammed both of his fists down on the table and scoffed at the money. He grabbed my necktie and pushed me back. I fell on the floor backwards and scrambled up. I rushed to the floor, and I rushed to the door, and the handle vanished when I reached to touch it. I began to bang on the door. The others stood up and surrounded me. Each of them picked me up and put me back on my fallen chair. The red-headed one made sure I was seated by embracing me from behind. The Undertaker revealed all the cards, and I guess I won the hand. They looked at my face. The Undertaker sent into a symphony of laughter. I heard the loudest stump from outside, as if something was falling. He pointed to me, and he pointed to my laughter, and he said this was his method of currency. The room swirled again, and I passed out. I woke up in my bed at home. Holy fuck. Was that a dream? Whatever it was scared the living hell out of me. And should I be worried? Somehow I didn't think so. Well, that should be all for now. Until next time. I think.